Well,
What in heaven's name are you doing?
just wait. Obviously, we couldn't have Michael Aspel or Eamon Andrews, for those of us who are old enough to remember that, or Trevor McDonald. So you've got me. So, are you ready for this?
I don't know. What are you going to do?
So, as has been said earlier, Ralph and Adele came to Trinity from Ivy Bridge in Devon in September 2016. And this next photo is the first one of our new minister.
I had to go to hospital to have that surgically removed.
I think we'll move on to the next photo.
I think we should.
Quickly. So this was Harvest, the first major festival that Ralph led here in 2016. So, yeah, I think it must have been rehearsal because there's not much in the way of harvest produce. Ralph has often told us of his love of the sea and the countryside. Is that the boat?
Am I in a wetsuit?
Yeah.
I don't love that actually.
And how much he enjoys hiking, mountain biking and solo camping trips. So you might not know all these people, so it's Ralph and Adele, who obviously you will know. Their daughters Sally and Phoebe, and Sam, which is Sally's husband. So ready to ride the waves.
Yeah.
As I said, he's talked about his love of the sea and the countryside.
How have you got that?
So I'm not sure whether this is where Ralph has to go when he's in trouble. Not a doghouse, but his tent.
That is my tent.
That is your tent.
Can I just say, hasn't my wife done well with the man's garden? Look at that. Shall I tell you what? I took that Hadrian's Wall, and on the last night, it was so, I can say it, it was so knackered. I just binned it on the last day before I came home. It had holes in it and everything. Yeah, hardcore.
So I've chosen a few random events from 2018 because that's kind of the middle of your time here. So this was Ralph speaking at the Good Friday service up in the High Street.
Used to enjoy that.
This is us from the Stewards Away Day with Natalie Newton. If you see the lady in the back and think, who's that? You won't know her, so don't worry. But this isn't all about Ralph. Sorry. Also in 2018, Adele did some stuff. She'd organised a group of ladies to go to the Hillsong Colour Conference.
Yeah. Front and centre.
And Ralph has really encouraged us with his love of these two next charities, so Compassion, and many people have actually now sponsored a child, which is great. Don't know how many, I couldn't find that out.
It's about 60.
Excellent.
Which, for a church of our size, is extraordinarily good and be encouraged. However, can I just interject and say that because Adele is leaving, she was the Compassion representative, the link person between us and Compassion. I know there's a lot of jobs need doing in our church post-COVID, and but there's another one. If you fancy being the Compassion rep and communicating with the lovely Toby Stathers every now and again, please can you let us know by the end of this week when I actually finish duties so that I can pass your details over to him. We need somebody to do that. Thank you.
So the other one is, of course, Love in a Box. And the next photo shows the result of 1 year's worth of collections. Hopefully.
Maybe. Yeah, there we go.
So, as well as the regular talks that Ralph did in schools, he introduced the pod, which was a term-time midweek group for school years 1 to 6. But it wasn't just outside things he did. There were lots of baptisms in that very baptistry.
Hey.
And whenever Ralph did a baptism, he would always say, anybody else want to join in? And there was somebody who did.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good moment, wasn't it?
There were also a lot of weddings, and the most recent of which was Reg and Belinda Ayling last December, whilst we were still in lockdown. So that was the very last one. Of course, what we really know Ralph for is his preaching and leading of services at both here and at St Paul's in Crawley. Yeah, I chose some really
good pictures. Great pictures.
And then, in March 2020 came lockdown. Ralph was confined to his man cave, and from there came many songs.
Oh, don't play them one.
No, I'm not playing, don't worry.
Oh, hello. Many screen grabs.
Yeah, definitely. And also we had a bit of one there with Adele photobombing in the background.
No, it's a picture I have on the wall always.
He also led a midweek service, Bible studies, a Lent course, and some Sunday services from the manse. There were also many Sunday services that he did solo from here. And of course, as is mentioned this morning, during April till June of this year, he had a sabbatical.
It's a hard word, isn't it?
It is. And so if you read last week's news sheet, you would know what he's been up to. So I have a couple of photos from that.
Ah. That's in Jersey.
That's in Jersey.
Jersey's... No, it's not the zoo. Yeah, with our grandkids, yeah. I'm dead jealous that they all live in Jersey.
Right, and on
now.
this one, everyone else has an ice cream or a lolly, apart
Yeah.
from you.
That's because I'm grandad, I have to buy them.
And the next photo is of your first Sunday back at Trinity after your sabbatical. That was just literally at the start of the service. So there's been a lot to take in over these last few minutes. How observant are you?
Oh, it's not a test.
Okay, so I'll
We're about to find out.
rephrase the question. How observant are you of things in the manse?
I'd like to think I knew where everything was in my house, yeah.
Okay, so have you noticed anything missing?
No.
So you've not noticed anything missing from the manse over the last 4 weeks?
No.
Okay. What about this photo? Does that remind you of anything?
It's my chair!
Yeah, that is your chair. Given to you when you were at theology college a few years ago, obviously. It has been used a lot.
It wasn't given to me.
Okay.
I nicked it.
Oh, okay. You heard it here first.
The college was closing, and I thought, I'm having that, that's my reading chair. They were only going to put it on a bonfire. Sorry, go on.
This chair came from the theology college
It
where
did.
you were at.
Yeah.
It's been used a lot, it's well loved, but as you can possibly see from the photo, it needs a bit of TLC. So somebody who I shall not name, but we have photographic proof, surreptitiously removed said chair from the manse. So in the next photo, you can see, look at those arms, it's so smart. It's looking good, looking good. But you can't really have a chair without having something to go with it. So we've got you your very own home-based bag.
Oh, that's nice.
You can take out the inner.
Shall I open this now?
Please do, yes.
Or is this it?
Well, you can.
Right.
That was cool.
Oh.
Don't put it in your mouth.
It's a very lovely cushion, thank you so much.
And
with surfboards on.
With surfboards on it.
In my new circuit, well, there's a church with the surfboard outside on the wall, so as it goes.
There we go. So I think it's probably time that the guilty person brought back your chair.
Oh, wow. Look at this. Yeah. Can't do it. Wow.
So, Ralph.
I'm unwrapping it.
Just wait a second. Wait. Well, is he always like this? No, okay. So on behalf of Trinity and St Paul's,
Right,
we
yes.
give you back your chair.
Well, that's fantastic. Now can I open it? I'm keen. I was going to throw this out.
You won't say that now.
Look at this! Wow! Oh-ho! That's Fabulous. Thank you so much.
Try that.
I was not expecting this. Definitely not. Whoa. It's not the same chair, is it? that is a job and a half. Thank you.
Right.
I'll stay in then.
And Adele, we have got you some flowers, but they're those ones there. And if I try and hand them to you, it could be messy. So they are for you.
Well, thank you so much, Jill and everybody, and Ian, who I presume, have you done this?
I'm a small part of it. Nothing to do with it.
Right, well, that's fantastic. But how brilliant to see you unmasked on the final day, and yeah, I do wish you all the best for the future. Just hang on in there, hold on to Jesus, and nothing will ever stop you. And if you're ever in Penzance in Cornwall, which if you don't know is right down the tip of Cornwall, do look us up, because it would be fab to see you. And I don't know if you know Bernard Gilbard, right? He lived in my house for a year. Before he was married in the 60s, he lodged in the Methodist Manse, which is the one I'm going to live in. So, talk about small world. That's really freaky.
Right, one final thing. Oh.
Can I just say thanks very much for the inspirational readings and everything else.
Oh, cheers.
So many people here.
My pleasure.
So much to do.
Thank you.
Right, one last thing. I've been asked about this. Ralph and Adele, could you gather together in the middle down there? Because I know that we want to pray for you.
Cool.
So, are you happy having people touch you from
Yeah.
2 meters? Right, so if you want to come forward, put your hands on them, or on the person in front like we've done before, or if you want to stay where you are
Lovely.
and just stretch out your hands.
Do you want to stand up to pray? Because it